Alright, you guys, I'm just gonna get my lips nice and moisturized and prepped and supple. Gotta get the lips ready for our color. So yeah, it's gonna hydrate the lips. And starting off, I'm just gonna create a very simple look, nothing too dramatic, over the top. So I'm gonna use the Revlon Not Just Nudes palette. And this palette doesn't really have a true transition color. If you can see, there's no true transition color that I would prefer to use. So I am going to go into my trusty Shade and Light eyeshadow palette to get a nice color for my transition. And if you guys don't have this palette, you need to try to get your hands on it because it is everything and more. So yeah, just going to do that. Maybe I should cover my eyes. All right, and I just used MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. I was getting ahead of myself. Now we can go back into the palette and apply our color. All right, going into the Revlon Not Just Nudes palette, I'm gonna take this pretty like burgundy color right here. I'm just going to apply that all over my lid as my base color. And honestly, you guys, that color is pretty much my favorite color in the palette. Because besides that, the other colors are just basic to me, but that color itself is really a really pretty color. So I would truly buy that as a single shadow if they sold it individually, but I don't think it's worth spending the money just for that one color. But I don't know, like I really like that color. I think it's really pretty. So yeah. All right, now I'm going to go in with this really dark chocolate color and put it in my crease to deepen up the look a little bit. And if you guys didn't watch my vlog, I told you guys that I want to do a Q&A video. So leave some questions for me down below. Leave some questions for me down below. I would love to do a Q&A video. So yeah, you can ask me any kind of questions, whether it's like YouTube related, whether it's just, you know, questions that's about me or Ricky, and you know, doesn't matter. I'm open to anything. All right, you guys, so going back into the Shade and Light palette, I'm gonna take up these two colors right here for my brow bone color. I'm just gonna mix the two colors together. So I'm going to go back into the Revlon Not Just Nudes palette, and I'm going to go back in with this color again, but this time I'm going to apply it wet just to make the color more vibrant. And the foundation that we're going to use, it is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Luminous Natural Glow Foundation. I actually only used this once so far and I liked it, so I'm just going to try it again because again I only used it once. It has a pump, which I love because I just kind of feel like when you have a pump you can control how much product that comes out. So yes. Alright, so that's pretty much just how the foundation look. I will say it is a medium to full coverage. You can definitely build the foundation up if you want to, but I think what I have is more than enough for me because I'm not going anywhere. Just gonna be staying home. So yes, that's more than enough for me, but you can definitely build the foundation up if you want to. And I got this from Kmart, and like I said, so far I like it. It's only my second time using it, but yeah, I think for me, with me having dry skin, it definitely helps to give my skin that glow because again my skin is dry. So anything that says like luminous or just anything to make my skin look dewy and luminous, I'm all for it. So yeah, that's pretty much the foundation. We're going to move on to the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette. You guys know I picked this up from Ulta. It was $14.99. So you get a contour shade, you get a highlight shade, and you get a concealer. So we're going to use it. I did swatch it, and when swatching it, it felt really like suede-y. I don't know if that makes sense, but it felt like suede. It was easy to blend out. I guess I'll show you guys a swatch on my hand, but it was super easy to blend out, but it just felt like suede when applying it on my hand. The highlight shade, I honestly do not care too much for it when swatching it on my hand, but it might apply differently on my face. But here is what it looks like. So here is the contour shade, the highlight shade, and then the concealer. So let's apply that. And I'm going to use, what brush am I going to use? I'm going to use my Real Technique contour brush. It's a sculpting brush. So I'm just going to use that and see how it works out. So yeah, I'm actually kind of nervous to use it. And hopefully it works with this brush, but we'll see. Let me switch out my brushes. Alright, first impressions, it's not my personal preference as far as what I would choose to contour it, only because I just don't like the way it feels. And I don't know, I think I would prefer like a powder or an actual like liquid. something like the LA Girl Pro Concealer. Like, I would probably prefer that, but I don't know, like, that's the texture of this. It's just weird, and it's hard to tell if it's coming on or not. It's hard to tell. But anyways, just gonna take my Real Technique sponge and just kind of like blend it out so it's not too harsh. So yeah. And my skin, you guys, has been acting up like crazy. Like, my skin is not at its finest, so please excuse that. All right, so for the concealer, I'm just gonna use my fingers because, again, the way it feels, I'm just gonna use my fingers and just do it that way. So yeah. Can you guys tell a difference? I really can't. I'm just gonna go back and finish off my face, and I'll be right back. We're gonna go back into the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette. And I'm just gonna use my fingers, and that's the highlighter right there. I'm going to apply that to the high points. It's going on really splotchy. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's almost like a really pretty golden color, but I just don't like the fact that it's almost like heavy here and it's really splotchy right there. Can you guys see that? But it's a really pretty color though, besides that. I think the highlighter is probably my favorite thing. Like, the one thing I did not think I was going to like ended up being my favorite thing. And I guess because the concealer is so close to my skin tone, it's hard for me to see if it's doing anything for me because it's so close to my skin tone. But I will say that I do like the highlighter for sure. For mascara, I'm just going to use the Maybelline Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara. We're going to skip out on lashes today. But if you want to apply lashes, by all means do so. But we're just going to load up on mascara. Alright, you guys, this is pretty much the finished look. I will start with the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette. It's not my personal favorite, only because the texture of it is like a real suede kind of feel. So it's hard to get the product on the brush, number one. And I feel like it will work better if you were to use your fingers, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to contour with my fingers. However, using your fingers with the concealer was perfectly fine. And the highlighter was fine as well. Only thing is, with the highlighter, it was really splotchy when putting it on my face. But showing up on camera, it does look, you know, it looks pretty on camera, but I'll have to see it when I watch the footage back. But it's like a really pretty golden finish, which is really cute. With the concealer, because it's so close to my skin tone, it's kind of hard to see if it's doing anything for me. I will say that it's not brightening my under eyes, so that it did not do for me because it's so close to my skin tone. However, it does feel really lightweight and it was super easy to blend out, which I do appreciate. However, with the contour shade, again, it was just kind of hard to apply it because when using this brush, I couldn't tell if it was applying to my face or not because this ring light is so bright. So I was trying to see, and then in the mirror that I'm using, it wasn't really showing up, so I couldn't really tell. So I switched over to my e.l.f. brush, and I feel like this brush worked better with it because it's more dense. So I do feel like you probably have to use a dense brush versus a brush like this, because this is dense but it's not as dense as the e.l.f. brush. So yes, this does retail for $14.99. Do I feel like it's worth $14.99? I would say no. I would probably just skip out on this and just put the extra money towards like your Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette or your Kat Von D contour palette. I would personally do that if I were you. And I do feel like you do have other drugstore alternatives that's probably better than this. So again, it wasn't a favorite for me. I would not repurchase it again. So unfortunately, I did not like it too much. So yes, that's pretty much my opinions on and thought about this product. But if you guys enjoy these kind of videos, let me know. I wasn't talking too much because I need to just do it more often. I'm used to just like, oh, watch me apply my makeup and here's my music, but talking to you guys is kind of different, so I will try to work on that in my next video. But yes, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.